It's our 11th climbing day on the island. It's the coolest climbing trip I ever had. It's just a perfect combination of climbing and also this holiday feeling. It feels like I'm living a dream right now. We started our trip in the famous cracks in the south. But already on the third day we were able to get on a boat to check out the north coast, because our second big goal of the trip was to try the Chris Sharma test piece Alasha. I fell in love with the route right away. The north coast is way rougher and more exposed than most cracks in the south. And I think there is still a lot of potential and a lot of lines to be explored, especially by boat.
Good gemacht! High point for Italy!
Yesterday was only my second day on Alasha, but everything went perfectly and I was able to send this perfect line.
Come on!
But beside Alasha, we also had our eye on the most legendary deepwater soloing route out there.
Es Pontas is this iconic climb. Everybody knows this beautiful arch, and there goes a line through this amazing arch that is climbable. Chris found this line and then did the first ascent off, and now we could go and try repeat this line, which just by its looks is already one of the most beautiful and most aesthetic lines we have around the world.
This route feels way harder for me than Alasha, especially because of the jump. I really struggle on it, and I think the others feel exactly the same.
So for us, it was all about getting the jump done. We needed to understand the jump, we needed to understand the movement in the jump, all the little intricacies which were required to eventually stick the jump. So in order to try this jump as easily as possible, we avoided the intro boulder of the original start and found an easier climb, starting in from the left.
At the end of the traverse there's a pretty good rest where you can shake a bit, but most importantly get mentally ready for the big jump for which the route is so famous for. I think we were able to jump far enough quite quickly, but the big problem was to get the hold perfectly right.
Es Pontas was definitely not the first cycle block or deepwater solo route that was established, but it was the climb that eventually got deepwater soloing so famous. With Chris' first ascent, with the amazing footage they got of this amazing climb, they got deepwater soloing much more famous around the world, and with that obviously people got more excited and came over to Mallorca to try this new sport out, this new style of climbing.
It's still like a route that people are trying and it doesn't see many ascents. But for sure this dyno thing on the route makes it very difficult because it's a very low percentage, it's very overhanging and it's really hard to hit it right, the hold. So I think the route is not just scary but also pretty hard.
Trying Es Pontas was very special, but also just amazing. Somehow we failed so many times at the jump, but still had like the time of our lives. It's just the best spot for like a cool crew to have a lot of fun. The dyno is definitely pretty complex. It's a really far dyno. You can't try that move out of the rope. You always have to climb there, try to move. Fail and still you're not sure what you did wrong. It's just very steep and a high foot, and yeah, you really have to explode, but at the same time be like very accurate. I feel like for the first 20 or so tries, I never really grabbed the jug right. I never hit it right. I wasn't sure how I should actually jump there. The jump could go in the next goal, but it could also take like forever because I really have no idea of the hold yet.
It was time for a change again. The route was really fascinating, but at the same time there was no real progress, and we didn't really come to the island to try one move over and over again.
Cala is another amazing place. You have to go there at some point for sure. It's one of the most amazing walls and also a very beautiful place. And it has two of the all-time classics, I think, with Hupolup, Kempf and Weatherman.
Mallorca is not just home to some of the hardest deep water soldering routes, but it also has some unbelievable nature, like spectacular caves and rock formations.
Weatherman, I think I was able to flash or onside, I'm not sure. And Hupolup Kempf is actually a pretty proud onside. Although it's not like crazy hard, it was quite a challenge to find my way up there because there was like zero chalk in the whole roof and so many pockets that I thought I could try to grab.
somehow I managed my way through it, and it was a very cool experience because it's kind of like a roof climb where you're already quite high up, and climbing in a roof, deep water soloing is always special because you feel like you're not going to fall feet first. Definitely one of the best areas Mallorca has to offer. Yeah, so once we were there and I was able to on-site Hupolup Kempf, I think Misha followed me and flashed it soon after. And the day was still young, so Julie was pretty psyched to give it a go as well. And I think she did one of the most impressive ascents a woman ever did in deep water soloing ever. It is definitely scary, and just us screaming up the beta, her finding her way through that roof was very impressive, I think.
Yeah, it was incredible. I was so focused and so in the flow. It was such a nice route, really steep, and yeah, I'm actually a bit lost for words right now.
Back on the project, already day 5. Yeah, I think slowly but surely I'm starting to doubt if I can actually ever send this route.
We tried this move a lot, fell into the water countless times. At some point we maybe even started to lose the belief of doing this jump. We got closer, we got further away again.
After the dyno, Es Pontas is definitely far from over. Chris, Jan and also Jarne, they fell multiple times on the second crux of the route.
For me, at the end, this was actually the real crux. So if I managed to do the dyno, that became the crux. Because if you do the dyno, it doesn't feel too hard, but if you cannot do it, then it feels just impossible.
After the dyno, you have this very technical but also pumpy traverse to the right. And then at the corner, it's basically crux 2. This very pumpy compression boulder where you still need a lot of energy left in your tank to be able to climb up. But back to the dyno. All of us are getting closer and closer. We feel like we're having the hold in our hand over and over again, but somehow nobody is able to hold it.
And then one try, all of a sudden, everything clicked, everything went perfectly. When I stuck the jump and I calmed down from the excitement of finally doing it, I pulled my thoughts together and I started climbing again, and I wanted to do it. And so the traverse felt kind of hard because I didn't know perfectly what to do. And I also got into the intro of the last boulder section, but unfortunately was just too tired and not strong enough anymore to do it there, and I just fell into the water. I didn't really know what I did differently to the other tries. I'm still feeling goosebumps if I think about this moment when I swung back in and hold this jump, which I've been trying so long and so many times, something I have hardly ever felt on any single move before.
It was a crazy achievement, and I think it all gave us this boost that we can also do the jump at some point, hopefully. Yeah, that was one place remaining that we really wanted to visit, which is named, the route is named La Hostia, and it's close to Porto Cristo. It's kind of a hustle to get into the cave, like you have to down climb and then traverse for quite a while if you don't want to get wet and swim a long way, which we don't. It's like this amazing cave with this one perfect line through it, and it was fully worth it. It's just amazing climbing, but also kind of never ending. And then once you're like out of the cave, it's still quite a long way up straight until you're like back at the top where all your friends are waiting. Just an amazing exposed route, I would say. Yeah, Julie also had a very nice try on it. It was actually one of the craziest falls of our crew, I think.
She fell like really high up, and we were all quite impressed how like little amount of scariness she has. Like she was really not scared at all. A few more meters and she would have been on the easy part. Very impressive and very scary fall, definitely, but luckily she didn't get hurt. I think it was very important that at some point I figured out that I can down climb from the other side into the root and touch the hold. That made a huge difference once I figured it out and actually touched the hold, was hanging on it, figured out where exactly I could hold it. I got this call that I had to go to the Austrian election for Sportsman of the Year. Took a flight to Vienna, went for this election, which unfortunately I didn't win. I only got third place, a skier won. Anyways, I was there, I was like partying a little bit. I went to bed at like 2 or 3 o'clock, woke up at like 5 or 6 o'clock again in the morning to catch a flight again. Arrived at the airport, Misha picked me up and we went straight to Es Pontas basically.
Just the night before, I told my longtime coach, Jakob that I think I won't be able to send Es Pontas this trip.
I was like hanging on the jog for a while, just like victory lapping basically.
I managed to do the second crux. And yes, this could have been descent. Remember, we never tried the jump from the original start. No time for celebration yet, unfortunately. Everything again. After a break of like 2 hours, I went for my next try. But this time from the real start. after the jog, it's not really that hard anymore, but the rock quality is getting worse and you're getting at a pretty dangerous height.
Oh, fuck yes! Woo! Yes! Ja!
Geil!
Ah, geil, ey. Ja, da ist schon fuck ja. Woo! Fuck! Woo!
Es Pontas was just a crazy beast for me. It took me so many tries to do the dyno,
Oh, so geil.
and then finally sticking it, and then being able to stick it right after again and actually sending the route was just an amazing feeling. This route is just so legendary, and standing on top of this arch, having sent both Alasha and Es Pontas on this trip is just unbelievable.